I've been within 10 feet of that building within the last 15 minutes. I've been as close to where no one wants to be. Take a look. We are in an abandoned skyscraper, and quite frankly, I don't even know where I'm at. I see a sign outside that just gives me a reference of Barclay Street. As you can see all around here, the windows have been blown completely out. And as we take a walk towards the front of the building here, you want to take a look outside. If you have never been to war, like I have never been to war, then this is what it looks like. We don't know what that building is. We don't know where this building is, but they're obviously on fire. Maybe there's a chance that they could collapse. I've been on this earth for 37 years. I've never been to a war, but I can only imagine that this is as close as I've ever come. More debris falling from a nearby building, the World Trade Center. We're at West Broadway and Barclay. Very difficult to breathe here, but look around. This must have been ground zero where this thing blew up. Car after car after car, buses completely obliterated and burned straight down to the steel. Behind me, that gaping hole, that's where one of the two towers stood. It's not there. And as you can see above me, the fire in this adjacent building just continues to rage. It's a surreal environment. It's almost impossible to describe, again, except to make a war correlation. Whoever said somebody declared war on us, it certainly looks like it, doesn't it?
Vince, can you hear us now?
Ernie?
Yes, Ernie and Dana. You described what is very much the war-like atmosphere there, and seeing you with your mask on and walking through was just incredible, and that's compelling television, if you will, not to mention the magnitude of the loss here and the depth of the story. How did you get in there?
Well, we just... you know, again, you hate to make these war correlations, but my photographer and I, Terrence, you know, we just went from street to street, building to building, alley to alley, and we just weaved our way in. You know, when we got as far as we thought we could go, we talked it to each other, and of course safety was amongst our concern. And we just said, let's just keep going. Let's see how far we can get to this without endangering our own safety. And when you saw how close we got to what I now realize behind me, 7 World Trade on fire and expected to collapse, you know, what was really frightening is that when we were looking around, there was nobody there. It was us, and that was it. And I think at that point the realization was that we were really in a place where we really just needed to get as much video as we possibly could to show everybody just the total devastation and the destruction, and then just get out.
Well, it was dramatic to watch, and we also have some video right now that we're looking at. You interviewed one of the firefighters there. You were talking about the number of people that are missing. He said that they don't know. There are many trapped inside, but they can't go in, I heard him say, until that fire is under control. Do you have anything more on that as to when they might be able to get in there?
Ernie, all I can tell you is that everyone that is talking to me right now, fire officials, police officials, emergency officials, are telling me they'd love to go in there and do whatever they can to try to rescue anybody that might still be alive. But they can't. There are too many things on fire. There are too many buildings that they are concerned with collateral damage that could collapse at any minute. And imagine the catastrophe that would then take place, that if you sent in hundreds, maybe thousands of rescuers to be in that situation, to have 50, 60, 70 tall skyscrapers around them collapse on them. It's wrenching their hearts. This is what they get paid to do. But right now, nobody can go in. You just can't.
Vince, I know it wrenches your heart, too. You and I have worked together for several years here, and as I look at you standing out there, I think of you at TWA Flight 800 out in that boat in the water in that dark night after that plane crashed. And I know how moved you were by that and how moved you are by this. And we're not talking about comparing tragedies here, but we're talking about what we do for a living. And I know that it is hard as you do this work, and we commend you for what you do as you've told these stories.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vince.
And this just into 7 World Trade Center, which is the building that is there burning now. We are getting reports that it might have collapsed. It is the building that has been on fire all day long, and we are getting reports that it might have collapsed. Joining us on the phone now is Scott Messo. Scott was actually on the 81st floor at the World Trade Center when this tragedy happened this morning. Scott, are you with us?
I am.
Scott, tell us where you were and what you saw.
I was in One World Trade Center. I was on the 81st floor, the south side of the building. A little before 9, we heard an explosion.
Scott, let me interrupt. You are watching Building 7 at the World Trade Center collapse. That is the collapse of Building 7 at the World Trade Center. Vince Dementri was within a block or two of that just a short time ago, did get out of the way, and told us the firefighters had not been able to fight that fire because of imminent collapse. It has happened. Building 7 now has fallen.
And that is the building, Todd, am I correct in saying, where the emergency management operation was located? Not right now, but...
There have been some reports of that earlier, but I've since been told that's not the case. Again, the mayor and New York City staff going elsewhere to do their emergency management work. But again, that picture you saw just moments ago, Building 7 collapsing at the World Trade Center, that had been something that they've been watching all day. In fact, Paul Florent just told us many hours ago that that building looked to be in danger of falling, as did the Twin Towers. The World Trade Center Twin Towers gone, following first the impact of 2 aircraft that took off 15 minutes apart from Boston's Logan Airport, believed to be hijacked and flown directly into the towers, followed by separate blasts and the collapse of both towers within about 90 minutes or so.